Good morning, everyone. Welcome to First Church. Welcome to our Sunday morning gathering. I know the board is lighting up with everyone signing in on Zoom. People are still signing in, so greetings. Heartfelt welcome to everyone here gathering in our virtual community, and those of you who have trekked into New York to our church, to our studio audience. This is a sanctuary filled with boundless love, acceptance, and we're all here for spiritual awakening, to be celebrating the truth of who we are, our teaching, and we're learning to, one by one, we're coming together, we're awakening. So today we embark on an exhilarating journey together, a journey into the heart of acceptance as an idea, accepting life, as we used to say, accepting life on life's terms, and the art of being fully present and seeing the good, present with a vibrant energy, learning to have open hearts, open minds. So let us immerse ourselves in the exploration of our own beings. Let us be ready to receive the gifts of insight and illumination. I have different pieces today. I was putting together today's lesson because it involves faith and inner knowing, and I thought I'd start out with a much requested piece that I do 4 or 5 times a year by James Dillard Freeman, which is entitled "I Am There." And he starts out with a question. Do you need me? I am there. You cannot see me, yet I am the light you see by. You cannot hear me, yet I speak through your voice. You cannot feel me, yet I am the power at work in your hands. I am at work, though you do not understand my ways. I am at work, though you do not recognize my works. I'm not strange visions. I'm not mysteries. Only in absolute stillness, beyond self, can you know me as I am. And then but as a feeling and as a faith. Yet I am there, yet I hear, yet I answer. When you need me, I am there. Even if you deny me, I am there. Even when you feel most alone, I am there. Even in your fears, I am there. Even in your pain, I am there. I am in you, and you are in me. Only in your mind can you feel separate from me, for only in your mind are the mist of yours and mine. Yet only with your mind can you know me and experience me. Empty your heart of empty fears. When you get yourself out of the way, I am there. You can of yourself do nothing, but I can do all, and I am in all. Though you may not see the good, good is there, for I am there. I am there because I have to be, because I am. Only in me does the world have meaning, and only out of me does the world take form. Only because of me does the world go forward. I am the law on which the movement of the stars and the growth of living cells are founded. I am the love that is the law's fulfilling. I am assurance, I am peace, I am oneness. I am the law that you can live by. I am the love that you can cling to. I am your assurance, I am your peace. I am one with you. I am. Though you fail to find me, I do not fail to find you. Though your faith in me is unsure, my faith in you never wavers, because I know you, because I love you. Beloved, I am there. And so it is. This particular reading encapsulates the Omni Presence and the ever-loving nature of the divine in all. We come together every week to celebrate this great fact that we live, we move, we have our being in this divine energy. We wake up to realize that it's a part of us. It woos us, it informs us, it's always there, attempting to get our attention. We go forward every week, we talk about it in different ways, and we're always waking up to it. So, on our lesson today, I have another, this is a poem actually, I was reading some of Roomie, and a lot of his readings are very beautiful. So, we're talking about the idea of growing in faith and developing in faith, and many of you are new in the call, and you come in through learning about Louise Hay and You Can Heal Your Life, because we have hundreds of people signing in every week, every other week. I get a message. There's 155 new people in the past 10 days. So you're coming in, you're learning about how it works. Some of you have been around for a long, long time. You have an understanding of the law of cause and effect and how it works. And you're working on your faith, you're developing your faith. For other people, for others, it's all new. However you come in and wherever you are, I always like to say, you're here by a divine appointment somehow. By that I mean people show up when they're ready to hear this kind of message, and the people who really want to work with themselves stay. They tune in somewhat regularly because they're working with themselves. They're doing the work, as we say. They're developing faith. I have a poem, short poem called The Beacon of Faith. Here we go. In the quietude of our inner sanctum, faith arises bright and bold, a beacon of unwavering light. Stories of resilience and courage told, it whispers in silence amidst chaos and the noise. Embrace the unseen, dear soul, and in your inherent power rejoice. With every step uncertain and every challenge unseen, faith is our silent anchor, serene and serene. It dances with our dreams in the realm of endless possibilities, guiding us through storms with ease and tranquility. Believe, O weary traveler, in the magic yet unseen, for faith is the golden thread that weaves through life's grand tapestry. With a heart full of trust and eyes wide open, embrace the journey's rhythm. Let faith be your guide. So, Louise Hay would say, I trust in the process of life. And so let's begin. Let's work with these ideas together today. Ernest Holmes says there's power for good in the universe, greater than you, of which you are a part. So that thing that you're looking for is within you. It's always been there. And many of us, we've lived our lives having very little faith, and we've reacted to a lot of things, and we've made lots of mistakes while growing and learning. But we come together today more and more knowing that life responds to us. Many of you have heard me tell the tale of Mary Curowitz, a practitioner, who told me that I was the child of a lesser God because I was always praying when I needed help. And I remember her saying to me all those years ago that, Greg, the universe so loves you that it responds to your every single thought. It doesn't miss a one. So your thoughts are things, that conversation you're having within yourself, the one that matters, your quiet moments when you're all alone throughout the day, that's the conversation that Spirit is acting upon. Life is acting upon the thoughts you think, the feelings you have all day long. So in this teaching, first of all, we become aware that life is responding to us. It doesn't miss any of our thoughts, right? Every thought we think is creating our future. And we learn that we're responsible. Louise Hay would say we're each 100% responsible for everything that happens to us. So with that in mind, most of us start taking stock, doing some inventories, and becoming more mindful of the power that we possess, and that life responds to us and accepts us at our own evaluation of ourselves. So Ernest Holmes would say, there's power for good in the universe, and you can use it, and you are using it. And some of us are using it constructively, and some of us are using it destructively. And some of us, through ignorance, are using it both ways, constructively and destructively. So when we get into this teaching, we learn to be mindful. We learn about the law. We learn about the law of cause and effect. And we realize, okay, deep within the center of my being, there's an infinite well of power and an ability, and it's limitless, and it will respond to us according to what you can accept and believe. It's there. You just heard the first poem. I am there when you know, when you hear me, I mean, I'm there all the time. It's there, and it's responding to you. You have this internal guidance. And all we have to do is invite it into our awareness, and it's there, much like the prodigal son, child. Remember in the story, the child, the young man, I believe it was off in the far country, and he was the heir of the realm, but he was lost, completely lost, because he had detached from his source, from his father. And as soon as he thought of home, in the story, the father comes rushing to the son. And that is the truth for all of us. We get out there, we live in a world of reaction, and we forget who we are. We're heirs to the kingdom. In our lessons, we learn that the kingdom is at hand. It's always here. It's always here and now. So we work on remembering who we are, remembering that we are one with the one. If you want to think of the Father and the Son, we are the sons or daughters of the Most High, or we are one with this one power. So let's now transition from this idea into another part of our Sunday morning service. I have a little passage I was reading to prepare for this lesson from Kale Jabron, which I have woven into this service. Let me paraphrase a rather long passage, but a nice passage of Kale Jabron. He's saying in this piece, in the grand tapestry of life, there's pain, there's joy, there's calmness, there's sorrow. It's all there, woven together, and all of it creates a vibrant life. It's the fabric of our existence. So Jabron wasn't denying any of the tough parts. He said, our pain, though unwelcome, is a portal to deeper understanding. And as we go through the things we do in life, it sheds light upon our journey. After we've gone through something, most of us come out of the circumstances with greater understanding and greater wisdom. He went on to say, just as a seed will break free of its shell and start to embrace the sunlight and grow, so must each of us accept our entire experience of spectrum of experiences. When we have moments of grief, or when we have moments of ecstasy, there is always this dance of life unfolding, inviting us to partake in it, to find acceptance in the ever-changing nature of life. I remember years ago in a 12-step program it saying, acceptance is the answer to all of my challenges today. And in that program, it was always teaching people to learn to accept life on life's terms. And there was a passage I can remember now wherein it said, absolutely nothing happens in Spirit's world by mistake. And the invitation was to accept life on life's terms. And so they would say also, surrender to that, surrender to win. So as we come into this teaching, we learn to work with the laws of life. We, as powerful as we are, we cannot change them. So we must learn to work with them. So today we're talking about acceptance and spirituality and living the affirmative life and paying attention to that inner voice, which Emerson said is always wooing us. So there is that which is within you that is always trying to get your attention, right? No one has to punish you when you've made a mistake. You know. So there is that which is within you that always knows. So I've got a little passage here, a journey into acceptance. Buoyed by faith and wisdom, let us dive into the heart of acceptance. And here's my quote again, acceptance is the answer to all of our problems today. Nothing, absolutely nothing happens in this world by mistake, in God's world. The question is, are you ready to live more vibrantly? Are you able to live and love more openly and trust the process, trust the journey? This journey of life invites us to let go of control, invites us to become the vessels of miracles and wonders. Louise would say, deep at the center of your being, there's this infinite well of intelligence, of love and light. What are you approaching the ocean of life with? Are you open? Are you receptive to all the good that's here? Or are you guarded? And are you not willing to let go? Rumi, a mystical poet, gracefully reminds us, your task is not to seek for love, but merely seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you've built against it. I had that discussion with a friend recently. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the things within yourself that you've built against it. Do you push things away? Do you push your good away? Do you push people away? What do you do? Ernest Holmes, a beacon of spiritual wisdom, adds, life is a mirror, and it's going to reflect back to the thinker what he or she thinks into it. So if you're a person who's miserable and nasty, negative, if this is how you're showing up for light, or if you're like, sometimes I talk about Chicken Little. Chicken Little was the character that was always screaming, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. If you're approaching life with doom and gloom, and this is your mindset and your mentality, then the law of life is going to produce a reflection of that, plain and simple. Obviously, what we want to do is become the champions in life, the cheerleaders of life. As my teachers used to say, you're here to be a lifter. You're here to lift people up, but first and foremost, you're here to lift yourself up. Louise Hay would say, never, never, never criticize yourself. She'll say, we've been doing that long enough. Most of us don't feel very good about who we are. And when we were raised as children, we had a lot of people telling us what we could and could not do and what was wrong with us and what we should do and all of that. And we're learning here to reparent ourselves, or at least start having a healthier inner dialogue. Again, Holmes says life is like a mirror, and it's going to reflect back to the thinker what he or she thinks into it. It's a very powerful declaration. Maybe you can imagine this or picture this. Each thought you have is like a brushstroke on a canvas of your reality. When you're painting with colors of positivity, faith, and love, if you're giving everybody the benefit of the doubt, you're not being sarcastic. You're giving people the benefit of the doubt. You're inviting an avalanche then of abundance and joy into your life. We should, I use the word should. We want to release the need to be critical and to use the word should. We're attempting to be lifters, and to ourselves in our own conversations, just as I just did for myself. Each of us are the master artist of our own life, the author of our own experience. Every hope, every dream, every flash of inspiration is mirrored back to us in the grand gallery of the universe. So I'm asking you to think big, everybody. I'm asking myself too. We've been doing it at the center. We've been thinking big, bigger vision. We went from 25 people to 125 people and 150, and it'll be 200 very soon. And it isn't just about numbers with us. We're wanting to have an impact too. So we do that here at the center, but we're really wanting everybody to do it for themselves too, to have a big, wonderful vision. Think bright, and think with all the might of your magnificent mind. Let your mental canvases be vibrant with hues of unwavering belief and enthusiasm. Life is ready to give you a standing ovation. I'll say that to you again. Life is ready to give you a standing ovation because you are the whole bit. Now, if you're thinking you're nothing much, If you're walking around thinking, ain't it awful and poor me and I'm nothing much, then life is going to give you that too. So life is going to reflect you, what you think into it. The universe is listening and it's eager to reflect your brilliance back to you. So today, let's think ideas of wholeness and love, acceptance, and developing this unwavering, unshakable faith. That's really what religious scientists, New Thought students do. They see the good no matter what. I've been at this for many years, and I've known some really people who really work at this teaching, and they're all about positive expectancy. You can take one thing away from them, and then you can take the next, and you could take the next thing after that. And these folks are strong. They're focused on seeing the good no matter what. I love Emerson, as you know, because he, of course, preceded all of them and most of them. And he lit a path of faith and courage for everybody, if you ever take the time to get into his essays. And he urges us in his writings to tap into the inner reservoirs of faith and trust. And he said, the compass of your own inner knowing, that faith and trust deep within you. And even he went on to say, don't go where the path may lead. Go instead where there's no path. You leave your own trail. Trust yourself. Trust that God within you. His words are a call to have a faith and have self-reliance. And what he's talking about here is your inner reliance on spirit. You rely on that. You don't have to rely on the churches or, politicians or the teachers. You have within you everything you need. His teaching was a declaration of our ability to blaze new trails led by our own inner connection with Source. Emerson is calling us not on the easy road, but to the extraordinary journey of having faith and self-trust. So he's urging us to shed the chains of doubt wherever you're worried and wherever you're doubtful and you're living in the past and any of that stuff. He's really asking you to step up and step out of all that and dance with the divine rhythm of your soul and be free. So I'm suggesting everybody carve out a path that's drenched in faith, a path that's uniquely yours. The world is yearning, not for more followers, but for more faith-filled leaders, people who have a big vision with their hearts ablaze, and ignited with, knowing who they are and what they're here to do. So all that begins when we learn to love ourselves, which is what we do every Thursday night in our class with Louise. It all begins when we learn to love ourselves and trust life, and we begin to have faith in ourselves and in our own divine journey. So let's forge new paths. This is what New Thought students always do. They go within and they rely on their inner connection with Source. So let whatever we do here illuminate ourselves and the world, so we can become beacons of hope and faith for ourselves and for generations to come. When we're in this teaching, New Thought, Science of Mind, we step boldly towards our destiny, fueled by faith always, and we're ready to create miracles in our life. There was an old minister, David Walker, who taught me that the kingdom of God is at hand. And he said to us in our class that we create avenues in mind. As we get rid of the negatives and we make these positive statements, we're creating avenues in mind to the good we're looking for. Because the kingdom of good or God is already here. From the Course in Miracles, they'll say miracles are natural when you're not experiencing them. Something's gone wrong. Not in the world, but it's just in your perception. You don't have the ability yet to see what's good. So I'll move into a couple other things. Knowing how busy we all can be. Most of us need to create some quiet time to think. Maybe to create a digital detox or just time to take a pause. To get in touch with ourselves and our faith. To reflect on the simple acts, simple things we do. I'm always touched by, I think it's Thich Nhat Hanh or whoever it said is making green tea. And he said, in making green tea, I stopped the war. And what that was reminding me is if you can just slow it down, or I can slow it down enough to be mindful when I'm doing a simple act of making tea, and be present to the process and savoring the smell and each taste of each sip. The question is, can I do that? Are any of us really enjoying our moments, our lives? That's one of my great things, is I'm learning, to be present in new moments. So we talk a lot at the center about learning to take the pause. Some of you are reminding yourselves many times a day to take a pause and to be still and know that you are God. Or in other words, take that pause and allow yourself to remember the truth of who you really are. Are you enjoying your moments? Are you free in your moments, or are your days and are your minds lost in the past or in the future? There was a great teacher when I was younger, Ram Dass, who wrote a book, Be Here Now, and he reminded us of the richness that's in every single moment. So, to the extent you can, to slow down and take that pause and allow yourself to connect with Spirit, you'll be glad that you do it. I had a couple questions I prepared for today. How can we be more alive in moments like this? Or how can we have more be here now moments? What do you think you could do? Because it's going to be different for everyone. Some of you meditate. Some of you do different types of yogic practices. Some of you chant. Some of you do affirmative prayer. But whatever you do, however you go about it, I used to journal. That was wonderful. It might be 15, 20 minutes out of a day or half an hour. It's really a great process. But any and all these processes can lead you to the same place. Doing affirmations can be wonderful too, to build up your consciousness. What can you do, though, to slow yourself down so you can invite Spirit in and have more of these magical moments? So another question, is it challenging for you to stay in the present? Are you giving your power away too much and too often? Are you able to transform these moments so you can reclaim your power? Ernest Holmes encourages us to release the old tapes, the dead wood, the outdated beliefs, the stories that hinder our growth. So is there anything within you that you think right now today that it would be good for you to let go of? Something that might have crept in the way of an old belief, old story. I'd next like to ask you if you can think of anything that goes on within you in the way of a belief or idea or something you keep saying to yourself that no longer serves you. How can releasing this belief open doors to new possibilities? Think about the impact other people's opinions, how they hit you, how they impact you. Do you care? Do you care much? Another good question is, have you internalized the judgments of other people? Maybe your mother, your father, your grandparents. Who was it? What was the belief that you have internalized? Is there something that you need to let go of? How can you free yourself from any of these burdens and reclaim your power? I'm throwing these questions out to the group today just in case there's anything there that's lingering for you to let go of. Consider, if you will, any moments of failure or disappointment. Can these moments now be let go of? Can they become stepping stones for you? Or are they still roadblocks? Can you identify the dead wood or the old tapes? The old tapes mean the things you keep saying to yourself, the things you still carry. And I'll ask you next is, how can shedding some of this fuel your courage to start life, to start again? Because what we all want is we want to be in a new moment today. Or we want to, as they used to say in 12-step programs, It's never too late to start your day over. So if we want to know that we can always begin again. So those are the quiz questions for you just at least to consider today. We don't want to give our power away. If anything, we want to take it back. So let's talk a moment about self-love. Louise Hay taught about the transformative power of love and positive affirmations. And she said your thoughts shape your life. And you are absolutely limitless. Every Thursday here at 7 p.m., we have a huge Louise Hay class, people all over the country and the world tuning in to be reminded of how great you are and that you can heal your life. We do this so we can foster a compassionate conversation with the most important person in the world. So we're tuning in so we can remember to be kinder to ourselves and to extend that kindness to others. So we can heal, so we can transform. Louise, who was a student at our church, emphasized forgiveness as one of the keys, the big keys to freedom. So she was always looking for people to forgive, and because she said, as we learn to forgive ourselves and others, we release everyone. We release resentment. We open our hearts to love and healing. So, is there any situation, any person in your life, including yourself, that you need to forgive? Can you see how forgiveness can transform your life and your relationships? I'm sure we all can. Gratitude is always an important component to mention too. As we learn to cultivate an attitude of gratitude and acknowledge life's abundance and see it everywhere, everything gets amplified, and whatever it all expands. So this is what we do. We look for things to be grateful for. As I think about wrapping up today's lesson, I want to say that each of us have the power within us to create the kind of life that we want. Spirit itself is always trying to get its attention, get your attention. And the thing to understand always is life is always in the now. It's not in the past. And you're being given new information every day, and everything that happens to you is really happening for you. So it's all in an opportunity. I remember when I was younger, and I would be calling my dad with problems, and he would say, "What exciting challenges do you have today?" And here's the thing to remember, that's really the truth. Everything that shows up each day is happening for you rather than to you. So we want to accept that challenge in the spirit of Ralph Waldo Emerson, and know that we have what it takes. So I have a treatment here. In this sacred moment, we turn inward, recognizing the infinite presence that pervades all. We acknowledge the divine, the source of all love, wisdom, and power. We know that this universal spirit is perfect, whole, and complete. As we align ourselves with this divine essence, we affirm that we are expressions of this infinite presence. Our lives are reflections of divine love and infinite wisdom. We recognize that acceptance and great faith are our natural states of being. We open our hearts and minds to the flow of divine acceptance, embracing all aspects of our lives and world with a serene heart. We stand firm in our great faith, knowing that we are guided, guarded, and protected every moment. With each breath, our faith deepens and our acceptance expands. We are anchored in trust, and we navigate the waves of life with grace and ease. Challenges transform into opportunities, and uncertainty transforms into clarity. We're grateful for this awareness of who we are and what we are, and our faith. Our hearts overflow with gratitude as we recognize Spirit is outpicturing in our lives. With deep faith, we release our word into the law, knowing it is done, and so it is. Now, we're going to turn over our lesson to the part that many of us enjoy so much, which is hearing from all of you. There's a lot of people on the call. We get around to as many as we can. There's lots of people in the chats. If you'd like to make contributions to the center, there's opportunities to do so in the chat. You'll see them mentioned. The big thing is we just want to hear from you. Say hello if you're new. We'd like to say welcome, and if you prefer to just listen, you can do that too. So now I turn it over to you, and I look forward to hearing from as many of you as I can or as we can listen to. Thank you.